The different colours mean something you thought they all meant go. Right, okay. Oh, what? Wait, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. How and why would you align trailers like that and then there's no way to exit this way? Especially that NTM in the corner. That's just insane. The yard doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't they just pitch it the other way? To troll people. Well, they've done a good job. Well, I presume it's a Pro-Mods city, so I don't know who made it. I don't know what the best food I had in Vegas was. I had some nice food. One night we went to an expensive restaurant. That was quite funny. It really was quite funny. Pizza. Actually, we bought some frozen pizza. Because our little, our room had like a kitchenette area as well. So we had our own cooker. And we bought some frozen pizza. And on one of the nights, we had like, it was actually quite good pizza. Did you become a millionaire? You must be joking. Ate American fast food. I stayed away from McDonald's and places like that. I'm trying to think about the story of the expensive restaurant. It was, they served food, how did the waiter describe it? Like a tapas kind of serving, in that you got these small servings. Which I thought was hilarious, because when I was looking at the menu, every dish on there was like $19 minimum. And it was basically like every dish was essentially a side order. It was like a sample of something. So I'm looking around going, so where's the actual main dishes? And then the guy came over and said, yes, it's like a tapas style, so you pick the number of dishes that you want. And I'm quickly going, hang on a minute. So if I want some cauliflower and I want some broccoli, and the broccoli was amazing, but it was a little plate and it had the best broccoli I've ever had. It was like they managed to make the end of it like crispy, like almost like a seaweed crunch, and it had chili on it and stuff, and it was like, oh my god. But it was like $20 like just for that. Mrs. Squirrel ordered a little thing with cauliflower on it, and that was $20, so that was $40 just for 2 side dishes. What did Mrs. Squirrel get? She got like some mushrooms or something. There was like 2 big mushrooms on a plate, and that was it. It was like, the price was insane. I think we spent about $160. It was, and came out hungry. Like, okay, that was an experience. And I didn't even look at the price of the wine. Do you have flight TBM 850? No. What did I get? Me and Mr. Squirrel just got a few little dishes, side dishes. And that was it. There wasn't a main course, there wasn't a starter, it was just order some random dishes and eat. course we left a tip. There was me, Mrs. Squirrel, and about 8 others of us. There was quite a few of us. And it cost us all, in the end, including tip, it cost about $80 each. So I paid for me and Mrs. Squirrel's like $160. Okay. That's nuts. The food was nice, but honestly, it wasn't that good. Good Brazilian steakhouse. There was another place I went to, which was south of the boulevard. Can't remember the name of that place. It was wait, no, it was that one, Dave. No, it was that one. The Brazilian steakhouse. That was hilarious. So you go to this Brazilian steakhouse, and I think it's like $60 a head, like Dave says. And they have a huge salad bar. So you get a plate, and you go and load up on the salad, and sit down. You're thinking, okay, so what happens next? And then these waiters just keep coming over, and they come over with like these skewers full of like different kinds of meat, and they go, "Oh, would you like some prime rib steak?" And you're like, "Sure." And then they just slice it onto your plate, and they just keep coming with different kinds of meat. You very, very quickly fill up. It was extremely nice steak for $60 a head. But it filled me up really fast because they're really clever. What they do is they let you loose on the salad bar first. So you sit there, you start tucking into your salad, and then the meat comes, and very quickly you fill up, but you can't eat much meat. So next time, if I ever go, I'm just going to sit there with a bit of lettuce and go, "Bring it on, boys." I'm just going to go 100% meat and forget the salad bar. The same thing happened to you, Flamingo Seeds. Yeah, well, I've learned my lesson this time. I know how to play that game next time. I didn't know what was going to happen. That's the thing. It was very, very nice meat though. Really nice. Thing is, you can't have it cooked how you want it. Everything seems to be done roughly kind of medium to medium well, looking at it. So you have no choice in how it looks. So if you like it rare, forget it. You get it how they cook it, and that's it. Well, you can do that, Dave, because I know Cat Strater likes... I think he likes his meat kicking, if I remember. Whereas I like it sort of medium to well. Or well done. Joel's oh, we've done that one. It's all gravy, 21 months. Spit is a triangle shape. If you want it rare, they cut it from the top of the triangle. If you want it well done. Oh, I didn't know that either, Dave. See, none of that was explained. They just went, "Oh, sit down," and that was it. Like, nothing was explained. And whenever the waiter did explain anything at all, I couldn't understand a word he was saying. It's like, what? Oh boy, what the heck is this? Underwater trucking. That was like playing X-Plane when you've got your scenery wrong and it's covered in water. Yikes. Yeah, I remember complicated roads. I'll tell you what, fun. If you go and play Scania Truck Driving Sim, there are some really good off-road things to do on that. Stingray. welcome to the house, Stingray. Can we give Stingray Ironside a nutty welcome? Are they like your two favourite programs or something? Stingray and Ironside. What on earth is going on here? This is Adventure Truck and it's crazy, Blackmail. Kick name and surname. See, I've got the Stingray theme tune going in my head now. Pampezi, welcome back. You don't like Vegas as a whole, but I like the food and drink part. Lol. I don't know, Dave. Like, I don't dislike it, I don't love it, I'm somewhere in between. This bridge looks like it's going to fall down. Pizza buffet, of course I have. With the pizza buffet, you just cut the crust off all the time. Just eat the main bit. Stand by for action. If Siri could be dynamic in this game, oh, that would be a game changer. That would be fun. Cough scripting, cough dynamic elements, cough please add. Instead of having this kind of baked game with a baked map, like a policeman that stands there like this with a sign saying stop, because that's how he was baked. There's more expensive, larger Blackpool, each to their own. Yeah, I don't know, Dave. It's alright. I'm not a gambler, though, so it's... the thing that amazed me about Vegas was the sheer amount of people just gambling. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's just kind of mind-blowing to me. Like how many machines, slot machines there are, like absolutely everywhere. From the moment I stepped off the plane, walked down the jetway, and the first thing I see are slot machines. In the terminal gates. It's like, what? Every building you walk into, in the most unlikely places. Just found the whole thing weird. Legit gamer looking at car insurance, normally 1100 as I'm 18. If I put my dad and my nan as a named driver, it puts it down to 760. It's a good saver. It's funny how that stuff works. Just make sure you don't front it, as in put your dad as the driver and you as a named driver. Don't do that. Yep, talking about Vegas. The only time you go on the machines is when the free bars close. Well, I played some blackjack, and while you're playing, they bring you free drinks. I was like, this is alright. You wonder if I like Elvis Presley? What, the original? Or the 55,000 fakes over there? Like, I saw about 7 Elvis Presleys. Now, the only reason they wouldn't put slot machines in lavatories is 1, hygiene, and 2, somebody could probably try and break it, whereas, you know, they need to have it where cameras are. I went to Fremont Street, but I just drove it. I didn't actually walk down it. Mr. Lonely Wolf, walking back. I went on the monorail. The monorail's quite interesting. Oh, that reminds me. When I was, oh yeah, on the way back. On the way back, we got to, let me think. We got to LAX, flew from Vegas, got off the plane, was in LAX, got on the underground train to take you from one terminal. No, it wasn't. It must have been in Vegas. We got the monorail in Vegas to take us to the gate, and it kind of goes underground. And as it was coming up to the bit where it lets you out, it's all automated, and it stopped about 20 yards before the end. So it wasn't like all the doors weren't lined up.
Oh, yeah.
And mass confusion just happened. People were going, what's going on? And there was like one woman who was really starting to freak out in my carriage. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, we've got plenty of time. It's no big deal. I can see what's happened. You know, the train has stopped too early for some reason. It's obviously done an emergency brake. But nobody can get out because the carriages are not lined up with the doors and stuff. So we're sat there and people are starting to get agitated. This woman gets on the phone, starts phoning up somebody at the airport going, yeah, we're in a train, we can't get out, I need to get my flight. So she was getting a bit panicky because I think her flight was imminent. And the front, I was on the second carriage, and the front carriage was like almost made it to the gates, but the second carriage we was on, like half of it was still back in the tunnel. Only the front section was actually, you could see onto the platform. And the last carriages were back in the tunnel. Anyway, so this conversation, she's going, yeah, we're stuck in the train, you need to get down here, I need to get off here. I need to get my plane now. Like, yeah, we're stuck. No, it's not moving. It's not, you don't understand, it's not moving, we're stuck here. And she was explaining to this guy. Next thing, this bloke in my carriage, right, gets up, leans down to the door, opens a panel, pulls a lever, and basically the doors go like that, which is all very well and good, but the doors didn't line up with the actual doors on the platform, and it's all like glass screen. So there's like, it just so happens that behind our doors is like an emergency door onto the platform. Complete luck. So he just turns the handle on that and opens it, and everybody's like, GG bro, and our carriage just empties. Like we just got off the train onto the platform and just left. And I'm thinking to myself, well, there's no way I'm staying on the train, but at the end of the day, that probably just made it worse. Because now, if they want to move the train, they're probably going to have to close those doors before they can even move the train, so I don't know how long they were stuck. So rip them. But, you know, I wasn't going to sit there. He'd opened it. I was gone. And this woman was like, thank you very much. Oh, man. Every carriage to themselves, exactly. We were super, super lucky. A, the guy knew how to do that. And B, we just happened to be at an emergency door where we could get out. Super lucky. Voidy Speedy, 15 months, Squirrel House Doll, he was on earlier, he's fine. Steerroll 26 and Bowsy 20, thank you guys. Legit Gamer, thank you for the bits. What could go wrong? You go to the toilet and all you hear are people raging at the machine saying that they're a scam while you're trying to wee. Welcome to Vegas. Yeah, you missed one. He was on earlier. DJ Chalky, welcome back. The 717, though, is like the weirdest plane I've been on. And I'll tell you why. The first, I think it's 6 rows, are first class passengers. And each side is 2 by 2. So there are 2 seats on each side of the aisle. And then when you get to about... when you get to the end of the first class, it then goes 3 on one side and 2 on the other. So normally on a plane you can look straight down the aisle, On this 717, it goes like that. It just kinks because you've got 2x2 and then 3x2. It's just like the weirdest thing. And then I'm thinking to myself, how does that work with weight and balance? You've got 3 people on one side of the plane and 2 on the other. So did they just get the luggage and stack it all on one side? How does this work? Crazy. Mr. Ruku, how you doing? Oh, Trent, dude, you posted so many emoticons that you've froze my chat. I have to tab out now. You hate the CRJ 200. So seriously, how did they do the weight and balance on that? How do they offset the weight? Thank you, Bowsy. Not bad, Nurkalai. How are you? You're on vacation, Flamingo Seeds. Have a good one, bro. Don't get sunburnt. You had a nice TS build stream today with Rob Jansen was not streaming. Ah. Yeah, because don't you guys normally do MP? Well, you say that, Fazbers, but they don't weigh you. They don't know what weight I am. They don't ask for the weight, so that how can they sit smaller people? I get to pick my own seat, and they don't know how heavy I am. Yeah, I bet you are, MTA. Scoman, welcome to the house. Thank you for your support, Scoman. Thank you for the nutty welcome, guys. Difference between Nightbot and Moobot, different developers. You're not fat, you're pleasantly plump. Or as Mrs. Squirrel said about Doyle, he's not fat, he's fluffy. $7,000 for your virtual airline, real time that is. You've been playing too much, Baz. $20 people slightly off center, it's not too big a deal. I still feel like they have to offset something though on the plane. I mean, 20 people averaging about 100 kilos. Well, let's say not 100, let's say about 90 or 80 kilos. You're still looking at 1.8 tons off center. How did I enjoy LA? I never really saw LA, to be honest with you. I was in Vegas. I flew through LA. I did think about driving from LA to Vegas, and I was like to Mrs. School, why don't we just drive? I know it's a 4-hour drive, but it could be fun. And she was like, oh, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. It could be boring in the desert, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, we'll fly. I'll get another touchdown and take off, so whatever. But I was quite okay to just drive from there. Because, like, I don't know about you, but I feel that if you fly somewhere and then you taxi to the hotel and then you don't really go much around the hotel, I don't feel like you've been to the country. Whereas if you've got, like, a hire car or something, and then you drive around for a few hours, you start to feel like you've been to that place because you start to see lots of little things. Like, we went into a 99-cent store and that was cool. Got some sandwiches, ate in the car park. You know, you kind of feel like you've been there. Flying is cheaper than driving. Well, yes and no. Not if you've hired the car already. The Britney Spears show, I've never heard of it. We watched Celine Dion, she was pretty good. You wouldn't dare drive in another country. It's not that bad, Mrs. Frosty. You do it all the time in Eurotruck? Go on by train, you get some nice sights. You do? But I don't think they're that cheap on the train.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mrs. Squirrel went to see the sharks down at the... Is it a Luxor? It has like a shark tanks there. You see my driving? Fair point. Jules, the luggage is put in certain places to balance the plane. Well, that's what I was thinking, Jules. Like, they must make sure that about 2 tons is offset. Hey, King Driver. You know, the little sun visor thing on this truck, when I first saw it at that weird angle, I thought it wouldn't work, but it actually works quite well. Like, you see it here, you're like, that's crazy, how can that work? But when you're in here, it works pretty well. It's probably not very aerodynamically efficient, though. I don't know, Biggie Footy, I didn't really measure it, to be honest. You refuse to drink the last cup of tea in my mug, I'm the same. It's the fuel level. Oh, we're good. Driving in different countries is quite fun when you go to Malta and hiring a small car. It can be. I mean, I've driven in places in Mallorca where if you go to the north side, they've got some very kind of switchback roads, and they don't put white lines on the outer side, and they don't put crash barriers either. And so what you've got, and this is the same in the Canaries as well, when you go up Mount Teide, for example, you've just got these switchback roads with just tarmac and then whoosh straight down, and it's not fun. Not fun. If it had a line on it, that would be better. If it had a barrier, even better, but it has none of these things. Or you go to some countries where like all the paint, all the markings on the road have all been completely worn off, and you're like, I don't know who's got right of way here. There's just chaos ensues. Good night, Mark Sterling. Have a good one. I've never been to Malta. I don't know. You're one of the developers that doesn't drink coffee. Wall socket. Wow. I bet your fellow devs are like, what? Get out. You'd like to go to Nice? Oh yeah, I've been there a couple of times. It's quite nice walking down the front in Nice. Sort of 10, 11 at night. Some nice restaurants down there. It's pricey though, very pricey in Nice. It's the Côte d'Azur, it's not cheap. What surprised me in America when you buy things was when you use a credit card, they always ask, like very often will ask for ID. So this is the bit I found really weird. I couldn't get my head around this. So if I buy something in the UK with my credit card, generally speaking, it gets stuck into a machine and I put my PIN number in and authorize it, and that's the end of it. When I'm in the States, they'll ask for my ID, so I'll give them my driver's license and my credit card. Then they'll check it, and then they'll put my card in a machine, and then I put my PIN number in, and then they'll print a receipt out and ask me to sign it. And you're like, hang on a minute. That's like 3 ways that you've just authenticated me. You've got me to sign it, you've got me to put a PIN in, and you've taken my photo ID as well. Like, what the heck, man? What is all that about? No, I don't think it is because you're foreign. Vanilla Donut. I think it introduces everybody Vanilla Donut because it's a credit card. Like, how many people can do my signature and my PIN number and have my driver's license? We're just going over the top here. The whole point of the PIN was so that you didn't have to sign it. In the US, they don't even sign the back of the cards. Lol. Well, I know it's to prevent fraud, but it's overkill. No, contactless is, Mrs. Frosty, contactless is like very rare now. I think it's only just getting started in the States. They're far behind the UK on that one. No, we don't do signatures, Eamon. Signatures are like a lot of people don't sign the back of their cards anyway. You know, and it's hard to check a signature. A PIN number's better. And also in the UK, you're not allowed to take anybody's card off them now because of credit card fraud. Whereas in the US, you give them the card and they walk off with it. Like in the UK, that was banned because they take it behind the bar and like use a swiper and scan it and then fraud your card. So that's banned. They can't take your card. They can't ever leave your site. The card can't leave your site in the UK. In the US, frequently they just go away and come back with it later. Well, that's the other thing. People's signatures like kind of vary. Like Mrs. Squirrel's bad. She can't do her own signature repeatedly. You have contactless with a PIN in Canada. Well, that's what we've got in the UK. But it's just not a thing in the US. Do not play Jurassic World Evolution. Well, I was playing it yesterday and the day before. In Germany, you have to stick the card in yourself. That's the same here, Baz. They say to you, put your card in, and then they don't touch your card. Spent nearly 300 quid and some drinks in Taiwan. I gave them my card, expecting the machine to sign for it, and they gave me it back a few minutes later with a paid receipt. Yeah. Your card's probably in a database right now, Dave. There's probably like 10 people running around with your card. Yeah, that's the best way to be, Dave. Just don't have any money so they can't actually use it anyway. Wow, this is the first time it's rained all night. Blimey. Netrom, thank you for 38 months. Must be a Vegas thing because I just swipe or stick the reader and go. No, it's the same in San Francisco as well. Like when I went there, it was exactly the same. Like chip and pin is just not common. It was also a really popular bar, so he was very surprised. Yeah, I think contactless over here is £30 currently, but they're talking about raising it to 50, I think. 16 months SLB. Sorry, I thought I'd read it. Thank you. The wipers are ridiculously slow. Hang on. Let's put them on full speed. Look at that. Steam powered. Just like a lot of places in Asia don't do receipts other than handwritten. And then in Chinese, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I think, Dave, you'd have to get your receipt and then write on the back of it straight away so that you know what it is. Otherwise, later you're going to be going, I don't know what this was for. Mrs. Frosty, no? Where did you read that? You walked into Chinatown in London today and saw the cooked duck in the shop window. Yeah, if you walk into Chinatown, there's just things hanging in every window. It's crazy. It was on your Facebook page. Yeah, but who... Yeah, but where was the article? Like, was it a BBC News article or something? It was on your feed, but where did it come from? What? What? Come on. Is he behind me again? You utter scumbag. I've got a British police van behind me. They have no authority here. The Sun paper. Oh well. We'll take it with a pinch of salt then, shall we? Was it Norwegian? It looked like it was British. It looked, honestly, it looked like a Ford Transit British one. Oh god, I just went the wrong way. No problem, SRB, whenever you can, mate. You got yourself a new acorn. Most stage TV drivers can't stand the speed limits as they are. If they lower them any further, there'll be riots. Is it just a proposal, or is it going to happen? Yeah, there's a few things like that, Chalky, where people say PIN number. There's another one. I can't think what it is now. There's another one where actually one of the letters is the word. ATM machine. Yeah, that's another one. Where's an ATM machine? Like, okay. LCD display. Yeah. A VIN number. Yeah, the scenery here is pretty cool. Departments of redundancy departments, lol. You thought it might have been 18 months for the new Acorn, but okay. Your next one's 12. Yeah, it goes 1, 3, 6, 12, 24, and then every year. The Netherlands and other countries, truck speed limit is 50 miles per hour, 80 k's for ages. Yeah, what is it in the States? I don't know, it probably varies from state to state, doesn't it? It's kind of weird though, isn't it? The way that, like, the ability for a truck to stop has got better and better and better, and the speed limit's coming down and down and down. How's that work? Trucks in the US don't have special speed limits, whatever the road limit is. See, I don't agree with that. No, I don't think I have been to the Congo Mountains. California's 55, worse than America. Yeah, it's actually annoying, that 55. Is Texas 55 as well? Blimey. Considering, I don't get that. Look how big Texas is. At 55 miles per hour, it's going to take a long time to get across Texas. Exactly, you've got these like vast open expanses in America, and then you have like a 55 limit. What? Rudyism! 24 months, and join every time. Thank you, dude. Happy anniversary, Golden Acorn hype. It's a nice stretch of road. Well, 56 miles per hour is like they'll tune the gears to make them efficient at 56. That's the thing. If the speed limit becomes 50, then they'll probably just tune the gears better. I don't know. They'll try and make them efficient at 50. Yeah, but isn't the vision for trucks to do the to line up like trains and be computer controlled? What do they call them? Road convoys. I've seen Scania demo it years ago. Like they were already testing it. So that then only the front truck is actually braking the breaking the atmosphere apart, and then the rest of them are benefiting. Oh, do you know what? I forgot to reroute this through Kirkend, didn't I? Yeah, well, they are like that, I think, just burst stone wall. You're learning to drive in a few months and you're dreading it. Why? I couldn't wait to get behind the wheel. I was so annoyed when other people in the class were like learning to drive, and I was like, no, because my birthday was in April, and people were passing the tests and getting the license before Christmas, and I'm like, I've got to wait 4 months, nearly 5 months, this is ridiculous. I couldn't wait to get behind the wheel. Wow. Yeah, I felt sorry for the people who only had birthdays in like August and that kind of thing. Like they had to wait so long to start their license. We've applied to the RAF to do logistics driving. Nice. See if we can grab a photo. Score Logistics, thank you very much for 1,000 bits. Appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Got a bit of a convoy behind me here. Good night, Mrs. Frosty. You need to go. Your alarm clock's going to go off in 7.5 hours, Big Footy. All right, dude. Have a good one. Yeah, there's no photo here. Let's try there instead. That's better. Thank you, Trent. Sometimes, like, you think there'll be a good photo, and then you look at it, and you're like, it doesn't work. Other times, you get, like, an unexpected photo. There's a lot of tunnels here, crikey. You gotta fill out a form with 10 statements. Check the box fits your situation. What's all that? Top end, Baz. Murmansk area. Oh, for a Dutch license, crikey. Honningsvåg. It's a weird looking truck. Old school, mate. Yeah, that's just weird. It's been a while since I've been here, actually. Copper's waiting for us. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe they just want to follow me to see if they can get me for speeding. Yeah, he is as well. He's literally following me, look. I shall escort you in, Squirrel. Let's see if we can get another ticket out of you. Time to play the Baltic fishing game, then. Is he going to follow me up here as well? No, thankfully. What? Excuse me, could you move that flipping trailer out the way and then I can park mine? Thanks. Crikey. You actually having a giraffe? Go. Let's see those two though. The good old Euro truck manual clutch bite of doom.